Susan, I'm really excited about seeing your product today.
Thank you.
I want to know what's consumed all of these API credits or AI credits.
I think I have $20 left.
God bless you for using it up.
Yeah, 33. So
One day you'll just start ignoring it and you'll just get the emails. I just get emails every few hours from Anthropic, $25 more, $25, $25 more. It's a less expensive habit than gambling.
having a cup of coffee with lattes a day, right? So
Yeah.
all in a day's work.
So I think just let's wait for a couple of minutes for the rest of the people to join, and then we'll start.
Right. I think we're good enough to go. I think we have enough quorum. Happy Friday, everybody. Congratulations on making it to the final demo day. Hope it's been a super rewarding and fun 3-week period. Okay. All right. I want to maximize the amount of time everyone has in to present. So I'm going to whip through this fairly quickly. Half of this you've already seen anyways. But as a reminder, the I guess not so late but great Kasim, co-founder and CEO of RemoteBase and SnapDev. He's been at this for a while. I met him when he was building Talently and Migrately, and I love how he's taking the RemoteBase access of engineers and hiring and interviewing to being the supply side of this business. So bringing it all together to create this boot camp in this business, interviewing 350,000 software developers in 15 countries and trying to bring the absolute best to support this community. And then Deblu, co-founder, former CEO of Ancestry, great friend of Ha, and now mine. Wonderful business leader, bringing over 20 years of experience building and scaling global products, has come on board and is helping out, and it's been a blessing to have her. For those not presenting and not been in here for 3 weeks who are joining to watch, this is a 3-week intensive AI-powered bootcamp. It's all about vibe coding. And what we bring that's unique and different is daily stand-ups, one-on-one engineering sessions, and the community aspects to help unblock people and keep people moving efficiently. That's why ours is 3 weeks when most others are 4 to 12 weeks that I've seen. And the whole point is to bring ideas we have in our heads into fully functional products we can interact with on the screen. So this cohort, we've had about 30 participants from different time zones all over the world. 4 mentors we'll show in a second, and in total, 110 hours of engineering support. So not quite 4 per person, which is about what we're used to seeing. So today, top 10 voted are going to demo their products that they built in just 3 weeks. Everyone here, we're going to show a QR code or link to vote for your top pick, and we'll be celebrating the top 3 winners at the end. Here are our finalists. Here are the prizes. I know it is technically a competition. I said this, I think, on Tuesday, but view it mostly as a celebration for amazing ideas and amazing effort and a celebration of a 3-week period. The voting and the competition's meant for mostly an accountability and a fun thing. So second and third both get the Pro plan, and first prize gets the Pro Plus plan. Please redeem the code within Slack within the first week if you can. I can't really thank myself, so I'll thank Cassie for supporting me and facilitating and being such a great partner doing this with. I can thank these 4 mentors, Katrina, Danny, Cheyenne, and Ada. Amazing mentors. I know you all felt it who experienced it directly, but they're incredibly thoughtful and intelligent people, and it's been amazing working with them as well. And a big shout out to my business partner and good friend Ha, who I think, as Kasim said yesterday in Slack, turns everything she touches into gold and is just such a great networker and people leader. We all love her. We all know her. And then thanks to the core team of engineers and supporters, Usama, the man who never sleeps and is always there on a dime ready to help. Ali, similarly, Zain, similarly, Taib, Ayman, and Mudasir. This team's great. They're just always available and always ready to pitch in and support and have answers right away. We wouldn't be able to do this without them. And a huge thank you to the rest of the engineering team. So one important note, I mentioned the coupon code within a week, but within 1 month, the deployments will still be active. But if you don't subscribe to a membership, they won't be. We had an issue where we were giving free access to everyone, and then we saw a bunch of people coming in and start using the tool and product. So we had to put up some level of paywall safeguard to make sure that members of the community and those who are contributing, even if it's just a $25 a month starter plan, just so you have access, you'll need to do that within a month. So as a reminder, these are the plans. If you just want access to the tool at starter, as you'll see, you go from Pro to Pro Plus to Growth to Partner. It's really just more engineering hours, which means you'll be able to build faster and with more support. There's also a bi-weekly founders meeting we have where we all talk, communicate, support each other. Through that meeting has helped make introductions and get people into calls with investors and giving people the courage to get the business plan out and their pitch deck out. So there's a lot more value than just the engineering hours too that I've seen groups get. Now, the ask, please refer if you have a friend, you know somebody that's been thinking about this, would benefit from it, would enjoy it. Please refer them. There's many ways to do it. I don't have a link right here, but you can just intro them to us and via email, whatever works for you, unless Usama, you have an extra way in which they can do so. But we'd really appreciate it. Helps us grow the business, helps people learn, everybody wins. And last,
Yeah,
oh, there you are.
Garrett, I'm gonna paste the link. So we're doing this on Maven this time, so I'll share the link in the chat.
Thank you. And I'll leave this up for just a minute. We really appreciate feedback. We've been evolving this quite a bit each time, and the feedback is how we do so. So please do share if you haven't already. And in just a minute, we'll get started. So as Kasim just mentioned, we're moving to Maven for this next one as a bit of an experiment to see if that works well for us. This is the link. If you want to refer people, you could do it so they're all with when Kasim's dropping. This is, for anyone on the call who's not a part of the current bootcamp, if you fill the 2-minute application today, we're dropping $500 off for early bird pricing to $14.95. Otherwise, it will be the $19.95 normal rate. And it comes with 5 hours of engineering time through the bootcamp, $400 of LLM credits, Claude and Gemini, and 10 hours of those daily live sessions, and a guarantee that you'll ship something. For those that are a part of the bootcamp, it's demo time. And good luck. I'm excited to see all of these. Do we have an order of who's going first through 10th?
Yeah, it's shared in the Cohort 4 channel.
Cohort 4 channel, great. Could you also drop it in the chat, please?
Sure.
Okay.
So first up, it's Eric.
Great. Happy to be the lead off. What could possibly go wrong? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just make sure you guys can see it. Okay, my name is Eric Schaup, and my product's called Hotmit. It's software for restaurants to help them improve their online presence, to enable them to get more orders and to get more of those orders directly through their website so they don't have to pay commissions to people like DoorDash and others. I picked this project because I was inspired by what I had seen being built by some other players in the restaurant space and just wanted to see if I could build something similar myself. Unlike most projects I've worked on in my career, this time I opted to start with the sales funnel and then build the actual product itself versus the other way around. Fortunately, I got a lot farther than I expected in the camp, and so I was actually able to get into the meat of the product. And for that, I really want to thank the SnapDev team and tooling to enable me to do that. Okay, so let's set the scene. You are a restaurant owner and you're harried, right? You're just trying to get your food out there. You're trying to provide great hospitality. You really don't care about tech. However, you know that you get a lot of your revenue from online sales and you're paying a huge 30% commission to the DoorDashes of the world. So there's got to be a better way than what you're currently doing. But it's got to be easy. And that's where Hotmit comes in. So let's just say that this is your restaurant and your restaurant website. This is an actual website. I chose this one because it's egregiously bad as our example. But if you go to Hotmit, you can plug in the name of your restaurant and we will give you an audit of your online presence and we'll even enable you to build a new website. So let's go ahead and plug in that name. And so first, we're going to do a whole analysis. First, looking at your competitors that are showing up in search. We're going to look at your Google Business Profile to see how full it is. Look at your reviews and evaluate the sentiment there. Look at photos that have been posted about your restaurant. We're going to look at the desktop user experience as well as mobile. And from that, we're going to generate a report about what we found and your general online health. We'll see in this case, and not unexpected, the online health grade is poor, and that's evaluated along a number of dimensions. So if we look at how well you're doing in search, we're looking at whether or not you have a custom domain name and your H1s are well defined and you have good meta tags. We're then looking at the guest experience on your website. Does it have online ordering? Does it have enough text to build trust with the customer about what your restaurant is about? Does it have a phone number list that they can easily find? And then finally, how is your listing on Google looking? Is it pretty filled out? Does it have all the information that a prospective guest is going to want to find? So from there, we give you two options. One, you can fix those items yourself, DIYing it, or you can use Hotmit to upgrade your website. So let's first look at if you want to DIY it. We're going to give you a lot more detail on all of the analysis that we just did, such that you can self-serve and affix your own website to make it more available online. But for those of you who don't want to go through all that, you can actually use Hotmit. And so from here, we're going to start to generate a new website for you, starting with a logo, name, information about your website, photos that we can use, user reviews, and we're going to start generating content about that could be used on the website. The title, subtitle, a story, the background of the restaurant, FAQs, and so forth. And so great, the website is finished, and so we're going to go check it out. So from all that information, we generated this website for Sushi Maruyama. It's now the best Japanese in San Mateo, and you can experience authentic Japanese sushi there. We're going to show you featured items. We're going to give you more information about the restaurant and the fact you can order from the website directly. A lot of sizzle here. We're going to bring in your reviews and give you some FAQs that will answer questions that might naturally come up. And then finally, the location of the restaurant. And all of that is editable. And so all of the things that it's established here, the logo, the colors, so forth, is editable, as are all of the pieces of all the photos and pieces of text. You can even change around all the sections if you want to drag and drop. But the goal here is to try to fill out a template for these restaurant owners that they can then go and customize themselves. So that's HotMit. There's a lot more to do to fill out this product. But like I said, I got way farther than I expected. And I want to give a shout out again to SnapDev for both the tooling and all the support they provided through SnapCamp. Thank you.
Wow, that was really cool.
Thank you.
If I get time to add those little touch animations in there to just sort of round it out, I love that. Those details are cool.
Thank you.
Cassie asked, where do the images come from in the website builder? Are they recycled, or is there UX for the restaurant owner to provide?
Yeah, so the initial template is filled by photos pulled from their Google business profile, as well as from Unsplash. They have a bunch of free images. Again, those are just intended to be representative, and that it shows the owner what they can then change on their own.
Cool, cool. All right. Awesome job. That was great. Susan, would you like to go next?
Sure, there's one more question in the chat. I don't know if
Oh, did I miss it?
it just came.
Yeah, it'd be cool to know how all this stuff was being built, other than the SnapDev component, which is amazing.
Yeah, so I just used SnapDev, and then I tied into a bunch of APIs to pull all the data. And it was installing packages that I needed, like I was doing web crawling and stuff, and so it installed Playwright, and there was just so much support being provided by the AI and by the tool that I didn't really have to give much consideration to that or configuration, to be honest. It was more about just articulating what I wanted, and it filled in the blanks.
Hey,
Any other questions or feedback points before we move on? Good question, Jan. I'm always curious about this too. How many hours do you
Th-
think it took in
This,
total?
this took way more hours than I expected. I think I just got so sucked into the project. I was having a good time. Um, Man, I don't know how to even estimate that. I think some days I spent 0 hours and some days I spent 8 hours. And so maybe in aggregate it was 40 hours or more, probably more. I don't know. Good question, but a lot. If I had known what I was doing, now that I have the experience under my belt, it would go a lot faster the next time around. I was building this kind of incrementally versus having a vision in the beginning about what the whole thing should look like, and then just keep cranking through parts of it. So yeah, I think one of the lessons here is that anybody who sells SaaS software should be concerned. Because you got a hack like me who in 3 weeks recreated a vast, huge chunk of, piece of software that's being sold today for hundreds of dollars a month. So you should be concerned.
Concerned, and the fact that we're talking about 40 hours, like that's a lot of time while you were learning something for the first time,
For sure.
when you could probably do it in 10 now. Um, Wild world we live in.
Any other questions for me? Awesome. Thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Nice job.
Eric,
All right,
for
Susan.
going first. So let's see, as I get started here, I'm also going to drop in the chat to welcome everyone to take the journey with me. If you would like to try it out live on your own, you can do that as well. So let me make sure I can see. Okay, so I'm Susan. Good morning, Gautza. Welcome to my Big Ass Kitchen Sink, a visual time blocking tool to make progress on what matters the most and let go of the rest. So 2 years ago, this is what my planning process looked like. I had 2 businesses going. I was on the board of 2 nonprofits. I was caregiving for my mother, adopted 2 new little rescue pups, trying to juggle my time and trying to figure out how to make sense of all the different activities and what would I welcome in versus what would I let go of? What was I going to say no to? What was a hell yes? And so I came up with this visual time blocking tool. You know, there's some resources about this where it's color coding things because I'm a visual person. I like to see things mapped out. I had weekly reflections. The problem was it took a lot of time to do this. And so I did this for 12 months and then I actually got burned out from doing this. And so for the last 12 months, I've been using my trusty old Google Calendar, my 12 different calendars, but still something's missing. And I'm feeling like I'm at the tipping point of, again, what am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to? And how do I make that easy? So welcome to my Big Ass Kitchen Sink. You can sign up, just type in your name and your email. I'm just gonna type in, and this all works, create your account. You can also connect with Google if you want. And this is about making progress on what matters the most. So first step, choose your North Stars. What are some themes that you want to make progress on? For me, perhaps right now I'm talking about flow, working with my community, also prioritizing rest, or you can create your own. Then you move on to step 2, and let's set my baseline. So in the last month or week, where have I spent my time? And you can import items from Google Calendar, or you can add your own. And you can, so I'm just going to pick some from the list. I do a lot of pet stuff now. I also do stuff in the garden. I do some cooking. I also have something special. I train my dogs in flyball, which is a team dog sport, kind of like swimming, relay racing, a lot of stuff there. And I have work. I'm going to hit done. Now, Bax is going to analyze my baseline. They're going to review my events and my activities, and it's actually going to provide, I get to choose from 2 options, a keyword-based analysis or an AI-powered analysis. And it's going to analyze those items against my North Stars and what is maybe news to some folks, eco-cycle phases, to understand where I am in my progress. And so let me just show you. It says analysis complete. We've analyzed 5 activities using both keyword and AI methods. And then it's actually going to ask me to verify the information. We know that AI is not perfect. It's not, and so of the 5 activities I have, it'll show me how many were matched, meaning both methods came up with the same tagging. And in this case, I actually had 5 results from the AI tool. There's a couple kind of things underlying here that I'm still working on, but say, here it says for gardening, it says I'm in the growth phase. I'm actually thinking this is actually, have not been giving enough attention to my garden. So I'm going to say it's in the scarcity trap. My pets, I'm doing a lot of figuring out how to train them. So I'm going to say they're in the not working stage. And for some, these are kind of new phases for you, and you'll see kind of how this comes about. But anyway, I can verify the results. And that verification will go back into your kind of AI kind of analysis. It says, okay, you're all set. Here's your breakdown of your eco cycle phase. here are my North Stars, and then let's take a look at my canvas. So this is my eco cycle. It's a different way of looking at progress, where at the top right, you might start with an idea, start talking about things go through a process, they go through incubation. And so here it kind of mapped my pet work, Flyball, and you can drag it. If you don't agree, you can also drag it to the different phases as well. What you can also do, I'm just going to kind of go back through the onboarding process, is, manually, again, you don't want to, if you just want to go through all of your events, and again, you can check this out live. They'll give you a bunch of scary kind of messages. Just say, okay, it's okay. I'm not going to do anything. And then it will pull up all of your Google calendars. I don't know if you're like me, I have like 20 of them or so. You can pick which ones you want to import. Let's see, I have actually a time blocking calendar. I manage my rentals. You can select the time period. I'm just going to save my selection. And again, you can analyze your baseline against those items. And this does take some time. And so in this case, of all my events, I have a weekly action cafe, and both methods agree that this is kind of part of the growth phase. I would actually say it's part of not working, figuring things out, the missing middle. And anyway, so, and then I'll show you your eco-cycle breakdown. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my canvas here. And then in terms of time blocking, this is just a tool. So this part is not the time where I spent my time when I first developed it. This is your time blocking tool. So if you're thinking, how do I make sense of all the activities? Well, first I think about, well, how do I want to divvy up my time? And you can say, so for example, my good morning routine is something I've learned is super important to me, which was one of the reasons why I snapped the cohort is a little bit challenging, because I usually set aside about 2 hours each day. So I'm going to say Monday, kind of select the schedule for this. This is for me really about rejuvenation and rest. You can tag it to kind of a vibe, whatever kind of you wish, and add it to your and then add it to your calendar, your time blocking tool. And it automatically appears on your calendar. And then you can also add a sticky snap. Let's say I just want to place, hold time for a snap dev kind of demos. And I'm going to put maybe just a keyboard. It's about hands-on keyboard. And I have different time block sizes. There's a lot. And let's say this is just a one-time occurrence, and this is for today. And just going to add that to the calendar. And it shows up on the calendar. So if you're a visual person like me, this can be a way to kind of try to figure out how you want to orient your time. And then your proverbial kitchen sink at the end of the day, if you want to check out what's in your kitchen sink, this is basically your library of items. There is an insights board. This is still getting worked out and such. Again, this is your main part that I have kind of working right now is the eco cycle, where you can drag things around. And you can also manage your time blocks as well, and also manage your account details. And that is Bax. Thank you so much.
This is so incredible, Susan. It's like you've finished it end to end, right?
Yes, well, there's so much more to do. My next step really is to invite people from the community, the people, I have kind of various folks, including anyone here that's interested in learning more about the eco cycle, time blocking, and just learning, how do you want to use this, in addition to what you want to use, in addition to the tools you have today. Because I've learned I can just rabbit hole, I can program all day based on what I want. That was my inspiration. I just wanted my own tool. But at this point, there's so many options for how you can design these things that I really need to hear about, hear what other people need.
Yeah. When are you planning to launch publicly?
I want to invite I think the public launch, we'll see. For me, it's more about a continual evolution, like the eco cycle. This is how I used to do it on the wall with stickies. That's actually behind me. You can see how things move on. So I feel like it could launch, in 2 months. It can launch next month. It just depends on what I feel I want to let go of. What do I want to say yes to?
Susan, this is awesome. I want to give you a shout out for doing something that's very challenging. At least in my understanding, I did some research for my own project about doing a WYSIWYG sort of drag and drop, and was scared off by the technical challenges of doing that. So it's great that you executed on that. Very
Oh, I
impressive.
should also, the other thing is I develop an admin system. So I have, it's a different window here. That's also where the credits went. I have an admin system so I can manage accounts. I can set it, it's basically like a CMS. I can manage the North Stars and the content so I don't have to rebuild. And in the admin system, what was I going to say? Yeah, I can kind of switch into people and do different things. Yes. So that's where probably a lot of the other credits went. And in this view, you can see I've been using it for a while. One part of the eco cycle is a timeline function. So as you slide, it's kind of like a hourly, minute, daily feed. And this is what I wanted to do. Sorry if I'm just in extra time. I'm going to log in as one of my accounts here. And you can see your progress over time and track the movement of your stickies. And that is, yes, maybe that's a aha moment for myself personally, is that was hard to do, is like, I want to understand how my different stickies are moving over time. And then you can set an hourly or daily movement here. So you can see, even I was doing work this morning at 2 a.m. doing stuff, moving things around. Yeah, so that's it.
That's a lot of features. I was, especially when I was working more at Airbnb full time, it was just like so many hours, and I felt like all of myself was going to work, and I was not balanced well in all these other areas, and I was struggling with that and trying to figure out how can I pull away and let go of some of these things and then reapply it in the right ways, and having a cool tool to visualize with this, to just like put intention to a screen with those types of features and how to think through it. And then it's kind of hopefully in the business of habit formation and balance through all of that by having people be able to reallocate their time and spend that time intentionally. It's really cool.
Thank you.
So, Garrett, who do we have next?
Yeah, I can go.
Daniel. Daniel,
It's
yes.
Daniel, yep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Daniel Lesueur. I am the creator founder of Family Journal. I started out my family relationships like many of you. I was a son, and then I became a brother, then I became a cousin, and then I ended up having cousins, ended up having a sister-in-law, and then, got nephews and nieces along the way. In each of those different relationships, I've found that there's certain stories, there's certain learnings, there's certain parts of all of those experiences that make up who I am. But unfortunately, there wasn't a way for me to easily capture this. I remember when my oldest niece was probably about 5 or 6, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to create a journal for Katie. There's only so many first or eldest children in a family. And so we have some unique responsibilities and things that are going to happen to us. And so I thought that'd be great. And that failed. I made it like a week. But just thinking back on this journey, what makes this tool important to us today is that so many of our family members have left digital trails for us but we've not collected those in a concise place that we can share with others. And that's why Family Journal exists. 2 weeks ago, I did a pitch competition where I thought about 10 to 15% of the audience had a family member that they've lost, unfortunately, or maybe just broken apart from. Relationships change. But about 40% of the crowd had a voicemail message or a text message or an email that they were never going to get rid of, that meant something to them. And so Family Journal is a really unique private location for you and your family to preserve those memories. It's designed for storytelling. So you can upload your own videos, you can upload your own audio recordings, you can upload previous videos that you may have taken or events on top of pictures. Not only will you comment on them, but your family members can too, and they can help tell part of that story. One of the great things, I never thought about it until it happened, but about getting married at the ripe age of 45 was that my whole family was very mature at that point. Even my nieces were in their mid to late teens. And so as they share their impressions of that special day, you can hear their excitement as they kind of go through pictures and what it meant to them. And in some cases, both those girls got a few takeaways. Like they really appreciated the fact that we served champagne during the ceremony. And so, they got to participate in some of those activities. But nonetheless, it's a unique place to go back to. And it's historically fairly accurate, right? So you'll look at how to create a timeline, and we'll look at specific dates, or maybe it's seasons. Maybe there's a season that resonates with a parent or a friend or a family member. And so you'll be able to record those memories based on that season and then see it all in a timeline. The goal is that stories don't disappear. One of the things that makes family events and certainly holidays unique is the ability to share what's happened in the last year if you don't have a family that's getting together frequently. So we'll take a quick look at the Family Journal. The Family Journal, I said, once again, is private. You will invite all of your family members to attend. There's nothing public about this experience. So what separates it from your normal social media is that there's not going to be invitations to connect with others, right? You're going to get a direct connection to a family member that wants you to be a part of the family. So we're looking at the dashboard. You've logged in and you've created your space. You've got a quick update on what's going on this week. So someone has added, oh, there we go. Someone has added new photos. So my brother Dave and I are a part of this family. You can see and share albums of stories, how many memories, some media summaries. And if you don't know what to share, there's a really nice AI prompt that will help you create a response. You can filter by family member. Hey, I just want to see posts from Amy. So her 48th birthday, we celebrated with a few friends at Tuscan Trotter. And I can add more photos to that event or memory. So this was a comment from a picture from our wedding. And then this was more of a joke, but listening to the pastor tell me to obey my husband every day without question. She is still laughing about that comment regardless of those pictures. But you can see as the photos appear, well, they should appear, each of those memories and comments exist. Here it comes. All right, you can search for memories at the top. More importantly, over here, you can invite more family members. It's just really simple. First name, last name, email address, and your relationship to them. Creates an invitation. From the profile perspective, once again, you can always change your photo. You'll identify your family relationships, your multifamily settings. What most of us don't realize, and I didn't even think about it until today, is how many members of families I'm a part of. right? With my father, I'm a son, so that's a family. I'm a husband, so that's a family. I'm part of Amy's family. So there's quite a few groups and dynamics in that org chart. And then here you'll see your family members, and then your family settings, and your pending invitations. So, Family Journal, really simple, really easy to use. The whole purpose is just helping you put together that family timeline of what's most important. On the roadmap, this information entered by the individual helps us build out a digital persona. And so, the more recordings that we get, the better off the AI that we'll implement and later in 26 will help build out that personality so that at some point I feel like I could ask my wife a question about the wedding that she remembers and it'll get a response. Or my father, hey, what was it like being in the Air Force during the Vietnam War? You know, well, he was in Taiwan. So what was unique about that experience? Or in Germany when he met my mom. So that history will be recorded and available to those family members. And it all starts with you just sharing a memory today. So describe your favorite family meal and why it's special. Tell us about a family vacation. Your favorite memory with your siblings or cousins. So a lot of things that you can be reminded of. Nothing's the same. But you'll enter your story. You can attach a photo or video or record one right in the app for prosperity's sake. And that is the Family Journal.
Definitely going to send this to my mother. She's been a lifetime photographer, scrapbooker. I think every birthday growing up, I had a scrapbook, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this, Mom. She's like, it wasn't for you, it was for me. She would absolutely love this. Also made the comment, David Attenborough's voice for nature is like yours for memories. I feel like your voice is perfect to narrate a memory for this. You should use that in the product. This is cool
Thank you.
though. I love the design too. The colors look great.
Really? Thank you so much for that because I was worried. I'm sitting around, and I even mentioned this on day one in the pod. I thought the design work that the other products put in was just amazing, but I'm glad that somebody appreciates the colors too. So it makes
Yeah.
me feel better.
Theirs were amazing. Yours has the simplicity of it, and I think like dark mode, light
Okay.
mode, with, like the different shading of hues kind of helps like texture things. I'm not a designer, but I appreciate the design you put into it.
Perfect.
Any
All right.
questions, points of feedback?
Yeah, I think this is super cool. Congrats, Daniel. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's still wild even seeing these three, and I know we have, I think, plenty more to go, just how far everyone's gone in just 3 weeks. They've done this is the fourth cohort, but it still amazes me what everyone's able to accomplish in such a short time. So good work. All right. Thank you again, Daniel. Next up, we have Paige.
Right. Hi, everyone. I am Paige, and my background is in marketing and branding and food. So I do not have any technical background. So it's really big shout outs for this program, for the community, the engineers, and the mentors who have helped me bring this idea to life. Can't believe that there's something to share in just 3 weeks. So I wanted to share sort of where this idea stemmed from. It started with something really simple. So in my family, around the dinner table, we all share a high, low, and buffalo of the day in order to sort of connect with each other. Because we were asking, the basic questions. How was your day? What were you up to? And getting really flat answers, right? You're getting like, yeah, everything was good. It was fine. And you weren't getting really rich information. And so we found this framework really helpful to connect easily with each other. So it just got me thinking, like, how do we bring this type of practice to others, right? How do we help others that aren't living in the same house connect in this deeper way? And so, and what was interesting is that this ritual it actually matters because there's research behind it. You know, the longest running study by Harvard on happiness found that connection and close relationship is critical for long-term happiness and health. It's not, you know, what a lot of people think is wealth or success. And so these two illustrations from the New Happy sort of shows that, yeah, connecting requires a lot of small actions, right? It's not just one big moment. It's about, you know, really having presence, listening to each other, understanding, empathizing, and that's how you truly connect. And that's how any relationship and how life sort of works, right? It's ups and downs and all the different things in between. And I think, you know, in how the world is today, we sort of miss that, right? We're not really pausing, we're not savoring, and we're not sharing who we really are with each other. We're sort of sharing on more of a surface level, right? The tools that exist today are, you know, flooded with influencers, flooded with brand partnerships, or your Instagram feed is really about really aspirational moments, and those are great, but it's hard to really connect on a deeper level. And then there's group text, which can get a bit chaotic. It goes off many different tangents and topics, and while it's fun, it's really hard to connect deeply. And so I found myself about 5 years ago just not really participating in social media. And through that, I felt a little bit out of the loop, right? Like I'll meet someone in person and they're like, well, you already know what I've been up to. I went on this trip, my daughter was in this dance performance. But like I didn't know because I wasn't part of that conversation anymore. And so I decided that there needed to be some sort of tool where it felt safe and felt more private and intimate. And so that's sort of how the genesis of High Low Buffalo came about. So let me walk you through sort of how it works. Let me go to that page. All right, so we will log in. And this was set up through Clark, which gave me a whole day of debugging, but that's okay. We made it through. You log in, and this is sort of the homepage. So from here, you can share your reflection. You click that plus button, and then within this box, there's different little prompts to help guide you in terms of sharing what a good, a low, or a buffalo is for the day. So I can just put in something. A high for the day was woke up without an alarm, had a cup of tea while the house was quiet. A low, let's see, I stubbed my toe on the kitchen island. All of these are true things. I'm coming up with this on the spot. What was surprising or odd? Well, it's still early here on the Pacific time zone. So something I can, I'm really excited for tackling my yard today. I'm trying to finish a big yard project. So a muddy, mulch-filled workout ahead. And I can decide if I want to just share this reflection privately or with a specific friend who's already in High-Low Buffalo or through a specific herds. And you can click multiple ones here. So I'll just share with 2 herds. And then you can go to this tab where it shows all of your personal reflections in sort of a timeline view. And you can search within those reflections as well as filter who you shared it with or by time. And there's a similar view when you go to this eye icon of shared reflections of people that have shared things with you, which also has the same search and filter functions. And then the last tab here is all about all the different herds that you may belong to. And you can see if you're the owner, which then gives you access rights to rename and change the emoji, as well as add and delete people from the group. If you're not the owner, you won't have that access in, for example, this gaming herd. So I'll just go into PDX Book Clubbers and you can sort of see the different members or the different pending invites that have gone out. And then you can see what's been shared to date within that herd. So the invite process goes as little something like this. So you click the invite member button, and then you can click either someone that's already in your network or you invite someone new. So let's just say yella@gmail.com. It doesn't send the email invite by email right away. You have to sort of copy the link. You copy the shared, and then you can share it with them directly, or you can use this little button to share via which platform you want to use. So the invite looks something like, this. It will say which herd you've been invited to, who the members are, as well as some recent reflections that have been shared. And then you can decide to sign up to join so you can be part of that experience. And so in the settings page, some of the future features that I want to be able to add are reminders. So you get little nudges of when you can share with friends, as well as decide when you want to get batch summaries or share reflections, so that you're not distracted with just constant pings of any new reflections that's been up there. So, and then after that, I plan to add features like uploading photos and voice notes, since we all share a little bit differently, not just through written word. So yeah, that's Hilo Buffalo. I hope this inspires you to share in a deeper way and use this, because this is live. I'm hoping to pilot this within the next week once I'm able to add some of these additional features. Yeah, thank you.
What's the URL page? It's so good.
I'll share it here. Yeah. And part of this I didn't mention, it was that I sort of piloted this last year where I did like 10 different group texts to try to see if people would participate. And they did. So that was surprising, and got some really interesting information, like with friends that I haven't seen in 10 years. You know, we all live all across the world. Someone's in Australia, someone's in London, someone's in New York, and learned about, sort of maybe they're going through a separation or other things. So I felt like it was just something really powerful about that, but it was just really hard to keep track. So that's sort of why I wanted to build this.
This is how social
Right.
networking should be.
The UI is so incredible, Paige. How much time did you spend on that?
Actually, on the UI, that was not hard for me. And I think I built the UI like that period was 5 hours or so. And then it was just through understanding how to build in the Snap Dev that took a little bit longer. So through the whole course, because I marked it every day, I think it spent about 45 hours total.
On the whole project, 45?
Yeah, on the whole project, 45. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because there were days similar to Eric where I didn't touch it because I really needed a break, or it was Halloween and there was no way I was going to do that on Halloween. But yeah, there are some days it was like 10 hours, 8 hours to no hours. So yeah.
Really cool, really impressive. I love it when it's cool when all these things are personal and there's a story behind it and how it comes about. I really love hearing that part, and that was a powerful part of yours for sure. And it just connects everything together and makes it, I think, that much stronger of a product, because it's just something that's motivating within each of us. So thank you for sharing that part.
Yeah. So I'm looking at some of the questions. Can you monetize a WhatsApp plugin? I'm not sure, but I guess personally, I'm trying to not use a lot of the Meta products. So that's just something that I'm not sure about. And I think that's also part of the reason why I wanted to create something really more private. I don't want to share all my data with everyone. And I'm just trying to be more intentional with which tools I'm using, and would like it to sort of align with my own ethos.
Great response. And I think it'd be really cool to even highlight that on your homepage, because I think, yeah, that was my default, was like, where am I spending time with people? Like I have my my 10 best girlfriends from college. We have a WhatsApp thread, but I want to do this with them. Like, I don't want to do, so yeah, I love it. Like, I'm already excited to figure out how and when I would use it with my family and with my friends in different, what was it? Packs or what? Herds, different herds.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And I come from, a branding marketing background, so I'm personally still not happy with how it looks. This is not the logo or any of those things. I understand sort of those limitations of AI. That's still not to the level that I want it to be. But again, I think this was a practice of not having things to have to be perfect and just being okay with like focusing on the task at hand, right? So that was also a really interesting journey personally.
Well, it looks great. And for 40 hours, pretty good design, but I have no doubt it'll get better. All right. Congrats again. Thank you for presenting. Matt, you are up next.
Sure. Let me just share screen really quickly here. All right. Good to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. So hi everybody, my name is Matt Beck. I'm super excited to share Hermes AI with you. A little bit of a background for you. I come from the e-commerce and digital marketing world. And in e-commerce and digital marketing, we know that if someone sees an ad and then clicks on it, then the page that they land on, if it matches the ad that they just saw in terms of context, tone, messaging, and imagery, they are far more likely to convert and buy something than if that same person were to just land on, say, a home page or a generic product page, because the consistency in messaging is so powerful. Knowing that, though, most advertisers still just drive all of their customers and traffic to that same homepage or generic product page. And the reason for that is because it's really costly to try to create landing pages for all of your ads. It's costly in terms of time, in terms of brain power, and literal actual cash out the door when you have to hire someone to go do this. And so to solve for that, I've created Hermes AI, which dynamically creates multiple landing pages for every ad that an advertiser runs, and it does it with just a few clicks in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to take you for a test drive on how Hermes actually works. So we'll log into Hermes really quickly. And as it loads up, what it's actually loading here on the first screen that you'll see is an analytics dashboard. So this will pull in all the performance, the aggregated performance of all the landing pages that an advertiser's launched through our platform over time. And so you could actually see performance trending and differences. You'll actually be able to see every individualized landing page as well. This will power our optimization models that will happen on the back end. But what's really important to show today is the meat of how this all works. And so I'm going to take you over to the upload tab. This is where an advertiser would go if they were using Hermes. And they just have to add a couple pieces of information. So for instance, we're going to add an ad title. We're going to upload. What I'm going to do is like what I'll call a really bad ad, a really simple ad. This is like what you'd see on like a shopping campaign in, say, Meta that just has a picture of your product. We're going to give a really simple ad copy. Has to be provided to Meta anyway, which is just a couple key descriptors. Now, I've actually already built Hermes to API connect into Shopify and live stores. So this is actually connected to a live merchant that's out on Shopify today. And because of that, we'll be able to just select a product and it actually imports the entire product portfolio of this actual advertiser. We're just going to search for the product that this ad is for and select it. And when we do that, it auto-populates the URL the live URL of that product, some things like the product description and other pieces of information in the back end. We're going to skip everything else and we're just going to go ahead and say upload and generate landing pages. And so what's happening right now is our AI is calling other AIs in the background to go analyze the ad that was just uploaded, the description, the product page, the testimonials that are on the page, and taking all of these pieces and understanding multiple different pieces of context. It wants to know, is there an offer? What's the product? What's the tone? What are the key selling benefits? Everything that you want to know to go and actually build and deliver a landing page on the other side. Usually takes about 10 to 15 seconds as it's scanning across all the different areas that would be generating content for us. And so what comes back on the other side is what I described. You got product name, and title. There was no offer in it. If there was, it would understand that maybe it's 20% off or 30% off. The quality is the marketing angle. It knows who the audience for this product is, the tone that's used for this brand, and the key selling points. And what it's already doing in the background as I'm reading these off is it's actually generating multiple landing pages for this specific ad in different styles, because different landing pages speak to different folks. So there's an advertorial style, there's a brand focus style, there's a product benefit style. And these are all populating back here in the Pages tab. And on the Pages tab, what we can actually see is the different styles of ad landers that are out there with an ability to publish directly to Shopify. So what I'm going to do is actually going to click the Publish to Shopify button, and it'll take a couple of seconds here. And we're actually going to be able to get a callback URL and open this page directly in the brand Shopify store that is actually live and running. If you go to exoprotein.com right now, you'd actually be able to go find this page, and this would be the lander that was actually seen. So you have a dynamically generated headline and subheadline. Here's the ad that you just saw. Here's the product features that were generated with key titles and descriptions that were generated based on the content and type of ad, as well as pulling in actual real life customer testimonials from the website on this product. So super excited to be able to continue to build out more landing pages for more advertisers and open this up to the world and actually start filling that gap for what advertisers want versus what they're actually doing in real life today.
How many millions have you made off of this already?
Yeah, I've cost myself maybe 20 or 30 bucks, but that's about as far as that one's gotten.
Where did you spend that on
Yeah, you're gonna
Shopify?
make that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, so not on Shopify. There's a couple pieces I actually had to use pay for a third-party API to be able to scrape testimonials off of live pages. Those are actually hard to get through even with some of these APIs. Relatively simple otherwise. I had to create a third-party partner app in the Shopify store to be able to do that, but that's actually free for kind of this type of setup. Just had to get all the integrations working. The cost actually wasn't all that bad.
This is really cool. I wonder, have you considered in the future, like being able to upload for more sophisticated brands, like a brand style guide, so that the builder is building the landers with kind of brand voice and guidelines in mind?
Yep. So I'm gonna give you two examples. So one, it's actually in the settings section here. It's actually just already loaded in here, which is colors, tone, and there's a section to actually upload an entire brand guide. There's also an exclusions list. So if there's any words or content or types that you don't want generated, typically brands have these for say their Google search accounts and their Amazon accounts. We don't want to show up on the X, Y, and Z. You just literally upload that as a CSV right into here, and it'll take that context into account. To preempt that a little bit, though, the model, when it's doing that analysis, is actually pulling information from the Shopify store's theme. So it has primary color, secondary color, text, text and font style. So it's actually generating in the theme of the store straight out of the gate. So you avoid some of those issues immediately.
Matt, did you use Firecrawl for scraping?
No, so at first it was Beautiful Soup, and that didn't do good enough. So then I went and had to go get Scraping Bee.
Okay, if you face issues, try Firecrawl. It's incredible, and you can try it even before doing any integration or writing any code. It is beyond incredible.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. The hardest part there was because Shopify is built on blocks. So for instance, whenever you plug in a third-party app to do, say, reviews, you actually can't scrape that off of the page. You actually need something that can open up the reviews as a secondary window and then scrape the secondary window to return it back to the primary
Yeah.
call to return it back to you. So it was a few extra steps in there.
So
In future iteration, you would just actually have the Shopify store grant you access to review their third-party review app, and then you just directly pull from there. But that's a little bit more complicated.
okay, awesome. So if it's working great, then of course, perfect. Firecrawl does allow that. It's called Firecrawl crawling. So it will open the
Okay,
pages and go through the reviews.
cool.
But amazing job. Uh,
Yeah.
you should share it with Danny.
Well, the aim is if I could generate landing pages that are compelling enough, I'll actually just turn around and call some of the heads of the agencies that I used to work with in some of my former companies and get them to start, testing this out for us straight away. This was, as a point of reference, I ran sales and marketing for the last company that I was part of. We paid someone $1,500 a month to create 10 landing pages for us a month, and so we just generated 3 in about 3 minutes. So that would certainly be a nice core side of it. There's a company called Replo, which does is kind of a landing page builder, but requires manual input. I know they're working on a set kind of AI-ish page generation. They're charging about $1,000 a month for that service. So I think we've got a good runway there. We just have to go get into people's hands.
Maybe we should start. So I know we've asked too many questions, but so we've been pitching to investors. We have like an oversubscribed round, and the number one thing that comes to us is, why are you not charging end customers for the revenue they generate, like a percentage of it?
Take a
I
royalty
feel like,
model off of it, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, after your product, I think we should think about it for future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about it for sure.
Okay, who do we have next?
All right, Jane. Awesome
All
job,
right.
Matt. Cool.
Thanks all.
So actually, Jane is traveling. She's in Madrid right now. But what I had her do was create a Loom video that I will play on her behalf. Now, I tested this earlier between my multiple computers at home, so fingers crossed that this works in this Zoom session. So can everybody see the Loom screen? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start playing it. My name is Jane Strom, and I'm excited to be here in video form presenting my project Coach Agile. I started this camp because I wanted to continue to build my skills as a product professional, but also transitioning into technical project management. And I was discovering that I really needed a way to continue to grow my skills and understand how to respond to different team dynamics and in software development projects. And so I wanted to build myself a training ground where I could continue to practice those skills. And so in this effort, I originally started with trying to do some very simple, quick dashboard summaries with a quick decision and a quick Agile coach feedback on the decision that I made. This potentially has the option to be beneficial for a variety of roles in the product space, technical project managers, delivery leads, project managers, etc. But it's most obviously beneficial to someone who is just starting out in this role, or someone who's starting a new position, or somebody like me who's trying to stay sharp between roles. So what I encountered through this journey is that I also thought that this part about running your own scenario would become a later feature at post MVP, but in the end, it's actually where I'm landing. And again, this is truly just a prototype proof of concept, and there's still lots to do, but I'll show you where I ended up. So I hit my start practicing button, and I'm going to go straight to wizard mode. And if I think about being a junior technical project manager, I'm going to go ahead and create a new wizard scenario, and I can select how difficult the project is, and you can already see some of the logic is currently surfaced here just for testing purposes. And then I can select what kind of stakeholders I have, and obviously that also affects the some of the logic in the modeling scenario that evolves. And the next is to pick your team size, and you can pick their skill level. And obviously, again, these things will influence some of the impacts on the project progression. So you generate your first dashboard, and you'll start at day 1 of sprint 1. And you have basically a backlog presentation to your based on the team settings that you just set. And at this point, because the project's uncertain, it could take many, many sprints. And so based on this, we have an expected commitment for the first sprint at 66 story points. And then the first option that the user gets to assess is, should I evaluate with the engineers if everything's refined, revisit the capacity, or something else? And so right now I have these loosely just representing the functionality, but the user would make a decision, see some feedback, and many of these would, the coaching feedback is probably the most important. At this point, you update your dashboard, and it will act as if it has run the first sprint, and it updates your dashboard with your story points, and now you have a more accurate velocity based on this team's logic settings. And so you continue through this process and each step of the way, and starting with the next process, we're going to go ahead and pick this next choice. And you can see that, focusing on bugs is going to be beneficial to maintaining your technical debt. So we're trying to build in some learning scenarios here. So I update the scenario, and now we've moved into a random day on the following sprint, which is day 8 in this case. And now we're starting to introduce common agile issues that happen during software development. And so each of these has different impacts on the project, which again, the logic has to be more developed and refined, but as part of the MVP, it was just getting the end-to-end flow going. So we have updated again the dashboard. We can see that the team is a little bit behind in this particular case. And so again, we have a couple of other options to do, and something we might try is pair programming. And we can again say, that that's on our way to enhance team dynamics. So we continue in this way, where we each have a mid-sprint decision, which is influencing something that's happening from a common scenario. And then we have an end of sprint decision. And we just keep going and learning to see what happens with this project. And ultimately, you can reset your scenario or run it with a different team and see the outcomes and influence on your metrics. So thanks so much. Stay tuned for more.
All right. Well, I'll try to answer questions for Jane, but she was going to try to join, but I don't think she was able to join today.
If I was in Madrid, I'd probably not join either.
I think we have no questions.
Okay. Sure there would be if she was here. But we all know how to reach out to her in Slack. So if anyone does want to reach out, feel free to do so. I was like myself wanting to chat feedback in the chat and was like, wait, she's not here. That's the point. All right, Gloria, you are up next. And thank you,
Sure.
Ada, for being a great mentor and supporting her and figuring that out for her. That was cool.
Okay, let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So hi, everyone. Good morning. And my name is Gloria. I'm really happy to share Green Place. It's a place where it will help people, especially parents with young kids and caretakers, that wants to lead a green living lives and helping them to achieve that goal and drive that goal. So when you log into the apps that you see where you're at, and then that helps you to have visibility in your green living journeys and what you can do more. And then this data over here is actually put with the personalized goals that you set up when you sign up for the app. And if you're running out of ideas of what to do, and you can get some inspirations from the community forums, learnings, and the trade bots over here. And it will also give you some recommendations for that. Now, if you think that you want to change your goal, you could always manage your goals in the profiles and always update it based on what you want, and then save it. And obviously that will reflect this in your dashboards over here. Yeah, so and I also put in the site-wide search, which is a more in-depth search that you can search the whole sites for what you want. And then people will have that one clicks away to get into the page that they want to go. This is still work in progress. Yeah, so now if you think that you probably have some doubts on what to do, and if you just started in your green living missions, then you can always go into the community forums and see different tips and tricks, recommendations, and things that other people has been doing and getting helps from a community. So if you worry about like, oh, I'm just new, that I don't know what to do, and then I still need to educate myself and learn. So we have helping tools here, the learning centers over here that can help you to better understand the different certifications and stuff that put into a green choice products, just to help you to avoid greenwashings. And if you definitely want to, like, say, we create like easy link for you to get into the articles, that you can see a different articles related to the certifications and topics that you want to read about. And you can also bookmark it. And then when you read the article, obviously, if you feel that this is a great article that helps you a lot, then you can always, give feedbacks, see how helpful it is for you, just so that the next person reading the articles will be able to find it easily as well. So when you feel that you're ready to make the next steps, that you wanted to get into purchasing some toys for your preschool, kindergartens, or for your own families, for your little ones, then you can always come over here. Then we have reviews of we have, like kind of curated list of the retailers that we get their products over here. And then you can just, purchase with, confidence and with trust from the retailers. So you can also look into the retailers, and then we'll help you to link over to their site, and so that you can put direct purchase over there. If you're not ready, definitely you can add it into your list, and then you could also manage your list, your shopping list over here. Feeling out of budgets or limited budgets, because sometimes eco toys kind of things could be, breaking a family's budgets as well. Then you can go into the trade boards over here and then see other people's pre-owned toys that their kids already outgrown the play experience. And then you could also like select from here, and you could either, purchase it by pay for it, or you could also earn credit of it, something like that. And if you feel that you have a piece of toys where your kids no longer want to play, they don't have the right play experience anymore, you could also post your toys over here for, into the trade bots. So same thing, you can sell it directly, or you can give away. If you give it away, you earn credits, and then that credits could apply into your next purchase in the trade bot itself. At the end of the day, Dream Place is trying to make people who really want to strive a eco-friendly, green living lives, fun, supportive, and educative, just so that they can go a long way in their mission. That's all I have. Thanks.
Super cool. Is this Gloria, the marketplace live, like in terms of multi-users, like other users can also create post product?
Yes. Yes, that's correct. But you have to be like you need to subscribe into here. Just to, when you say that other user, what do you mean by other user?
If I want to post something that I've bought on the marketplace, I can do that.
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
Super cool. It's like the Facebook marketplace.
Yes, but it's actually a different
Trading
yes.
instead of buying, yeah.
And it's actually different from the Facebook marketplace in a way that I definitely steal some idea from the Facebook marketplace. But it's more on the niche that, Facebook marketplace basically is just, they're so mass, and then they wouldn't be able to cater to the needs of this special communities that way. Yeah.
You
That's
launching this publicly, like on a URL?
Not at this moment, because there's still a lot of other things that needs to be done when I'm get ready to launch, then I'm thinking about launching it together with the nonprofits that have a serving a missions of green livings, so that I can start with acquiring some of the pre-owned toys and things like that, put it into the trade boards, just so that somebody can have something to see first. Yeah.
This is
Any
great.
question?
I wish it was live now. I'm about to go up to play uncle to my two nieces by bonds, not by blood. And I already got to think about two gifts I got to go up and bring them. And I don't know what a 2 and a 4-year-old would want. That would last more than a day or two. So if I had access to this, I'd probably come up with something cool.
Yeah, and the reasons when I started out with this idea is because the just plastic toy is too wasteful and harmful to the environment. And then a lot of toys these days actually, like, kids lost interest to it, and if it doesn't serve a educative purpose and doesn't do any good to the environments that way. And the idea of trade boards, which Kasim also thinks that is like borrowing ideas from the Facebook marketplace. But the core missions behind it is like, I wanted to give all this like good eco choice a second chance, so that it wouldn't be, after one family use it, like kids use it, then it would just throw it back into the recycle process. Yeah.
I love all the recommendations. Thanks, Elena and Paige. I forgot you were in Portland, Paige. I'm right around the corner from there, actually. I'll do that.
Oh, okay. We're in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Alberta Park, basically right on top of it. Thank you, Gloria. Great presentation, great product. Huge benefit to the world, and love those especially. All right.
Thank you.
Next up, Sudha.
All right. Can you all see my screen okay? Okay. So I'll get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Sudha Brozlowski, and what I'm going to share with you is an MVP of a product that's been marinating in my mind for a while now. It's called PathNow, and PathNow is basically a career growth companion in a nutshell. Like every good demo, I have some scrappy parts. So what you're seeing here is a landing page in Framer that will be hopefully completed in the next couple of weeks. But a little bit of context about the product itself. Basically, throughout my experience as a tech professional, one thing I realized is I didn't feel like I had the right support when I needed, especially when I went into bigger roles. I felt like I needed to figure things out by myself. And I also noticed that many other people that I coached and mentored were facing the same thing. So I wanted to see how I can create a continuous growth system that people trust and feel safe using. And that kind of gave birth to this product and idea called PathNow. You can think of it like an always on career OS. So quickly jumping into the product itself. Again, I'm from a design background, but this doesn't reflect what I have as my vision. UI was the last thing that I was focusing on. When I started Snap Camp, the first week went into generative research, basically talking to a few users so that I'm kind of bringing the right insights into developing core features for the product experience. So I have two user types for the product. One are motivated tech professionals that are seeking guidance and coaching. The second group is coaches. for the purpose of MVP, I focused on the first user type, tech professionals. And within that user type needs, I focused on 2 to 3 critical user journeys. So basically, when you go through your onboarding process, you're giving Pat now a bunch of information about yourself, what your goals are, what your challenges are, where you are in your career journey, a little bit of information about your LinkedIn profile and resume. All of that becomes input for what you see as your zero state experience. And what you're seeing here is essentially that. So you have your dashboard that's built for you. Again, taking the inputs from your onboarding survey. There is a career readiness score that's given and a few skill recommendations, a few active paths. All of it is in early stages. The hero of the experience here is your very empathetic chat experience that knows who you are, that kind of teases out some of the ways that Pat now can help you immediately. So if you're seeing here, some of the recommendations are, hey, help me create a goal for promotion for end of the year, or I'm having a hard time with my manager. Who didn't hear? All of us did. So basically, just giving you a few recommendations to warm you up to start using the product. And basically, through the responses, creating a safe space and trust for you to engage with the product more and more. The more you use the product, the more richer the experience gets. And that's how you build your career operating system that goes along with you wherever you go in your journey. So besides the micro coaching that you get from your Path AI, you also can go and book a session with a coach. The idea is the insights from your chat engagement are going to be inputs for your sessions with your human coach and vice versa. And while you're interacting with your chat might recommend some goals. You can just click a button and that goal will be created, or you can go to the goal section and create a goal. So all of these flows are kind of fleshed out. A little bit more work is needed, but we'll get there. I want to highlight one key feature that I am personally excited about. Basically, throughout my career, one thing that I noticed is I focus on the work that I need to do, and I don't really do a good job of tracking my accomplishments. So basically, the idea for Career OS is it's a place where you can basically dump all your documents like resumes, performance reviews, feedback that you're getting, if it's a image or document or whatever it might be. So documenting a quick win. I just launched a mobile app. The growth in revenue was 10%. Just document that, put a date to it. And it will all be in one place, nicely organized, sorted for you to use in any of the things that you need to generate, like a resume or performance assessment. So all of those features will be added, but we're here in early stages. What else? One other thing that I deeply thought about was when you work at companies use HRIS systems to performance manage you. Anything that they are giving you, providing you in terms of feedback is to figure out a way to make you better to serve the company. Of course, you're also growing as a person, but not many people that I spoke to felt safe, and they needed something that they can carry from job to job, thinking about their career journey more holistically. So that's my vision. Again, very early stages. I'm going into user testing next week. One ask I have for you is if you try it out, please provide me feedback. And that is Pat now.
This is incredible, Sudha. Brilliant job. Is there going to be a mobile app soon?
Yes, that's the idea. I wanted to focus on the web experience, whether it's desktop or mobile web, and at some point move into creating an app. I feel like an app experience might be the best way to bring this into users' life to use on a daily basis. Um, that's a good question, Kasim, and it's definitely on the roadmap. Any other questions or feedback?
Yeah, my question, some of this is similar to kind of what I was building with Noodle, going through the problem statements and like, how do I approach this problem I have with this person? And the contextual factors that go into as inputs matter for how it's going to advise you properly or help you solve the problem. So I'm curious how you approached that with where we're frozen on the screen here, that aspect of it, that feature.
Yeah, there are a few things. First thing is I need to make the AI better, basically kind of figuring out what is the philosophy that I want, whether a human coach or an AI, basically the product to have in their interactions with the user. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I want any interaction to kind of amplify that philosophy. So refining the system prompts, refining the RAG LLM to act the way I want for our users is something that I'm focusing on. The other thing is whether it's someone from PathNow getting on a call with someone and just creating that qualitative input back into the system outside of the coach sessions, of course, with the permission of the users. All of that is going to enhance the value that someone is going to get out of PathNow. Again, early stage thinking, Garrett, I would love to brainstorm with you. I'm pretty sure you had some insights. I want to bring them into PathNow.
Yeah, happy to help and have those chats. Training the AI is hard.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it though. Nice work. Any final questions before we move on to our final presenter? All right. Thank you again, Sudha.
Thank you.
Jason.
Hey everyone, let me go ahead and share my screen here. I am your wildcard presenter today. I'm the last presenter of the day. If we were at a trade show, I'd be the person who's keeping you from lunch. Can you see my screen? Okay, so I'm really happy to introduce everybody today to my bootcamp project. It's called Scope Shift. Scope Shift exists to really help freelancers and inevitably agencies stay in control of their client work. It uses AI to detect early signs of scope creep, so it turns these scattered client emails that a lot of people get when they're freelancing into clear, billable amendments. And the goal is really simple. It's to protect time and profitability for a freelancer by turning effort into earned revenue. So thinking about what it may look like in practice, imagine a designer who's running her own small studio, right? So she's talented, she's busy, she's juggling probably 3 to 5 projects at the same time. Branding, websites, marketing materials, you know the drill. Now she loves the creative side of the business. We all love the creative side of our business, but the client management side, that tells a little bit of a different story, right? You've got the requests that pile up, these small favors kind of snowball, and suddenly she finds herself like 10 hours deep in work that she never scoped for and never billed for. Set boundaries. She's good at setting boundaries, but we all know that that's not really what client work is like. Every client relationship is personal and you rely on return business. So saying no can always feel rigid. It can feel transactional. So she just says yes and figures she'll deal with it a little bit later, the management side of it. And then she winds up spending hours digging through emails, trying to confirm what was agreed to. Where was that thread? That's where Scope Shift steps in. Now, with that in mind, I just want to introduce you quickly to one of our clients. Think of Evan from Peak Athletics. We're going to see some stuff about Evan's project in a second. He's enthusiastic. He's chaotic. He sends these long late night emails. They're full of compliments and random stories and the occasional childhood memory about a pony and whatever else he's thinking of while he's overtired and uncaffeinated. And somewhere in that ramble is a single line that changes the project. And ScopeShift can read that email, can flag the hidden request, and it helps our designer turn it into a professional amendment automatically and without breaking her flow. So let me show you how it works in action. We're doing this on prod, so pray to the internet gods. So everything starts by adding a project into ScopeShift. It takes less than a minute, so I'll show you how that can happen here. If you have the project, of course she has the project details, you can enter it manually. If she has an SOW or a contract, you can just drag it into our, come on, you can just drag it in. I can't drag today. And that'll populate everything with the details. Now, fortunately for the demo purposes, we already have one last try. There we go. Now, fortunately for the demo purposes, we already have Evan's project in the queue, but you see here it's extracted everything from another project she has. So now it's as easy as that. Takes less than a minute. Create the project, and you're good as gold. Now, in our case, we're talking about Evan's project, which is Peak Athletics right here. Now, whenever you enter a project into ScopeShift, every project gets its own unique email address right here. So whenever a client sends an update, that message can be copied, CC'd, BCC'd to this address. You can even have that on your email communication already, and ScopeShift will quietly capture it. So in this particular case, let's show I have Evan's latest email over here, and here's what I was talking about with, oh my God, is talking about his uncle's farm, a pony named Jasper, and my goodness. So she doesn't have time for this right now. So all you have to do in this case, because this wasn't copied, we didn't have it copied, CC'd, you just add the address and you forward it. And ScopeShift takes it from there. So when the email arrives, and it'll take a second, the system scans it automatically. Within seconds, it's going to pull out key details, the sender, the message, the context, and phrasing that hints at the new work. Here we go. There you see a change request has turned up. And hidden between stories about his uncle's pony, ScopeShift has detected a scope change. There's a new page request for the website, a storytelling page. So now she can look at this. And it appears here as a flagged queue with a plain language summary, which you see right here, add a storytelling page, the deliverable. She opens it, she can review the suggestion. Oh, okay, here it is right in here. And you've got to give an estimate. Maybe she's off the top of her head knows exactly what to do there, but you can also use AI to kind of guide you. So she can click on this, and for free she can get an estimate. It's going to take 10 to 15 hours. Here's what's basically involved in the project. You can add project, need, origin story, photos. It pre-populates the midpoint of the estimation just to help her out a little bit. 13 hours sounds a little high. It's probably closer to 10. It pulls the cost estimate based off of the hourly rate that she has set in her project already. And now she can save and approve it. And now you've captured all the details. Now she's able to make an amendment. This gives her instant context for the next steps to keep everything nice and focused and recorded. So now she gets to decide what she wants to include in the amendment. Here's our amendment page. The description looks right. It's already pre-populated here. Here's the 10 hours, $1,500 based on the, yes, that all works. This is a bigger project. It might have a timeline impact, so she probably wants to mention that. The team was set to deliver just before Thanksgiving. 10 hours moves it into, oh boy, that's probably Thanksgiving. Okay, we'll make the deliverable the Monday after now. Small change. And now she wants to create the communication that she'll send to Evan. So create amendment. It's got all the details from before. It tells you the status, the draft. Here's the additional cost, what the new project total is. And now to make the final changes, you go into Compose and Preview. And here's the email ready to go. She can make some changes up here if she wants, but everything looks good. Does she want to give Evan the sticker shock or not? What do you think? Do we want to include the 1,500 in the email? Transparency is always a little bit better. Let them know what's going on in the email. And then you can send options. You want to schedule it for later. You want to do it now. She'll just get it over with and do it now. And she'll click send it to the client. And now the amendment is off to Evan. So as I check my other emails, it should be arriving right about now. And it is. So pretend this is Evan's email box now, not Sarah's. And of course, now it's not going to work. In any event, we will see if the email shows up here. My system's also moving really slowly. But what happens now is Evan will get an email saying, hey, there's an amendment. And we want, we want to check out, there we go. We want to check that out. So he clicks on this, and this is going to take him to a secure page where he can review and approve the amendment with a single click. I'm going to go off video here to see if that'll help my system. And it seems to have. So review and approve amendment. And this is the page that Evan, the client, will see, and this gives them more details about the amendment. Again, this is a secure page. He can review, approve with a single click. He likes it. Made me think about my pony. And then he's going to approve this amendment. And everything's tracked in ScopeShift, gives our designer a complete audit trail of all changes. And, Evan approves, he adds a quick note, and we'll see if it's gone through yet. And it has. It's been approved by the client. Everything is tracked, and we are completely done. So our designer is able to move on to our next project. Evan can hopefully take a nap, dream a little bit about ponies, and you're good to go on to the next project. So ScopeShift has basically been able to convert a rambling midnight email into a clear, approved, billable amendment. Our designer's protected her time, she's strengthened her professionalism, and she's turned a loose request that was potentially going to get lost into potentially new revenue. And that's what ScopeShift can bring.
This is Jason, beyond incredible. Amazing job. How hard was it to integrate emails and, all the different stuff that you had to put together?
Integrating email was actually much easier than I thought it would be. Receiving was a little bit of a challenge, but sending was actually quite easy. It took just a couple hours. I integrated with a service called Mailgun. One of the fixes that I made later on broke all the configurations, and I didn't take good notes, so I had to go back in and fix it again. But that part wasn't that bad, actually. Honestly, none of it was that bad. It was a lot of tiny little tweaks. I probably put about 50 hours into it so far. Everything you see right now is running on prod. I don't have it publicly available. I have the waitlist available yet. Right now, I should be able to launch it next week. But it was fantastic. I hope you're not looking at the chat logs that I do, because there were times when I did curse out my AI assistant. I got angry with the architect. Art imitates life. Yeah, it's addictive. It's really addictive. I've loved the process.
Amazing. No, this is incredible. How many engineers did you end up using?
I didn't. I used two, maybe. I had some problems with deployment, and then I had another problem that I was able to figure out on my own with the AI configuration. So I did not have to use many, but the ones I did use were worth their weight in gold. I'll tell you that. And I've already signed up for the next round. I've already signed up for the next month, and I'm keeping engineering support because I know I'm going to need it. Code reviews, if nothing else.
Amazing. No, this is incredible. We do roll
Thank
over
you.
in case you don't use them for 1 month. So
And use them I will. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm telling everybody I know about this, about the boot camp. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I've been working in product for 25 years, and really using this not only to build something, but also to help improve my my knowledge and understanding of the various back-end AI components and technologies that are available, it's great to be able to put that into use as opposed to just reading it.
And you plan on launching this as a business? And this will be my
Yes.
last question because I'm like hogging
That
time.
is the hope. So it's right now, except for a couple tweaks, it's ready to launch to freelancers, and then the phase 2 would open it up for multi-users so we can launch to clients. So hopefully that'll happen next week. I'm also interviewing with a company for a regular job. That'll happen next week too, so that could screw up the timeline a little bit. But yes, that's my plan, is to launch this as a business.
Awesome. This is incredible. Great job.
Jason, I so needed this. I mean, my husband so needed this. Also, he's an architect, and I'm actually managing all his scopes of projects manually. And I wish this could be there 5 years ago when we started the business. Thank you.
Thank you. It's dreadful, right? I've done work as
Yes,
a
it
freelancer
is.
as well, and tracking is one thing, and then having that confrontation where you have to say, well, that's going to cost you another 6 hours. It just feels like you're messing with the potential relationship. And what this does, it doesn't
Totally.
dehumanize it, but it formalizes it and makes it feel more professional. And I just think it's going to wind up being it's a trick that freelancers right now don't have in their toolkit. There aren't a lot of solutions out there for freelancers. This is a
Right,
solution
right.
like this is usually for an SMB, but this
Uh-huh.
works for a
Yep,
single
exactly.
proprietor as
That's
well. And
exactly
that's
what I felt. And then when my husband started the business, I actually talked to a lot of people, and then I know where I kind of like learned where their pains are, like especially for people who invested so much money into their projects, and then they get black box out of their, like architect and engineers and everybody. So yeah,
thank you
this is
for
so
it. Thank you.
helpful. Thank you.
Thanks.
You could also like always blame the AI that it came up with an extra cost. So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. 40 hours for a web page, dude. Don't blame me. AI knows everything. It's been surprisingly good. I mean, a lot of it is refining your prompts, but it's been surprisingly good and surprisingly accurate at the estimates. And we're also capturing, we're aggregating data on the back end, not PII, but the estimates and then how they're revised. And eventually there would hopefully be enough data to also add that into the estimate process as well. So you have a little bit more, train the model a little bit more.
yeah, super cool. So we can add more questions in the chat, but I'm just gonna quickly share my screen to review every project, and thank you, Cassie, for building this. So we're gonna go into voting in the next couple of minutes. Before we go there, here is a recap of all the different projects. Cassie, do you want to share, or it's fine if I share?
She's walking around off camera. She has a 3-hour workshop starting in 14 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
okay,
go
okay.
ahead and
13 minutes, so go for it.
Okay, perfect. So for everyone, here are all the projects. They're also in the chat. So we have Eric's project, um, Susan's, Daniel, Paige, Matt. I won't go over them one by one. I'd love for you guys to basically review them using the link in the chat, and then we will start our voting.
Eric already won.
I didn't even do
How
anything.
so?
That's awesome.
It says first place on his slide.
Okay, so these are all the projects. So just review them, and then
fixing
we will.
that. Sorry.
He's
It
first
fixed
place
his
in
in.
order of the slides, right?
Yeah, she's stuffing the ballot box for me. That was
Okay,
subconscious.
I fixed it.
I liked it too.
Rigged. The game is rigged. Awesome. So give me a reaction for a thumbs up when you're ready to poll.
Sorry, how are we doing the polling?
And this
We
is
will
hard.
see it inside Zoom. So we are waiting
Can we do
for
can we do
everyone to
ranked
review.
choice? Can we do ranked choice voting? 1, 2, 3, and wait it because I can't vote for just one. It's too hard.
Oh yeah, it's way too hard. I feel like Garrett, for this boot camp, the voting is the hardest part because it went so smoothly.
You're so good. I mean, every cohort has like some really good ones, but like 10 out of 10, all of these were really, really good. Our struggle in voting is a testament to your excellence. So a worthwhile struggle.
Yeah, it's the next version is gonna be even more incredible, but let's see. No pressure to Osama, and we have like 6 engineers now building the product. Uh, awesome. Maybe 1 more minute, and then we can start voting. Yep, so we have a few people ready. Okay. Mudassir, do you wanna launch the poll? So everyone, please vote for the project that you loved the best. I'm sure they were all amazing. They are all amazing, and for me, it's also super hard. But we have to pick one, and then I'll announce the winners. Yes, Mudassir?
Yeah, I'm about to launch and you guys can vote.
Awesome. Garrett, any other instructions?
Okay, let me launch, okay?
Yes.
It's launched. Just vote out. We have a very tough question, by the way.
So I can see all the voting results, but I can't vote myself because I think I'm the host. So
Yep, same. I was just clicking my the one which I wanna vote, but it is just showing me the
Now, if you
result.
want to vote, I can just remove you from the host thing.
yeah,
It
you
would be
can.
unfair to vote.
We need more votes because there is
Yeah,
a tie.
now you can vote.
Yeah, now I can vote.
Garrett, do you want to vote as well?
I just did.
Okay. You were also the co-host, but you did okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I worked in trust and safety for a long time, so I know every workaround.
Okay, okay. We have all the results, and now I'll share
Oh,
with
don't
Qasim bhai.
wait. We need to figure it out because we have a tie for the first place.
Yeah, everyone voted. If someone wants to change,
We have a tie for the first place.
We could do
Okay.
2 winners.
Now
no,
it's
Qasim bhai, we don't now.
He's like, there can only be one.
Got the winners.
yes, now it's not a tie anymore. Okay. If anyone has still not voted, please
Please do,
vote.
and then I can end up the thing. Everyone has voted, 100% answered.
Okay, awesome. Then I am good to announce the winners.
Okay, Qasim bhai, as you can see, you can just announce and I can end the poll. Let
I
me just
can
end
see
the
it. I'm just gonna review it because last time once I accidentally was about to announce the wrong winner. So, okay.
Yeah.
So starting from the third place is Eric. Woohoo!
Ooh, congratulations, Eric.
Amazing
Thanks,
job.
guys.
Amazing job. Second place is Matt, and Danny was also second place in his cohort. So
Yeah, he runs in the family. We win of all the losers.
That's right. Number one loser.
and then the first place goes to Susan. Um, amazing job, everyone. It's not a competition, but we had to give prizes. So yeah, that is those are the results. Um, and then a close fourth, which was Jason, but those are the results. Amazing.
Close fourth, story of my life.
Yeah, it was like a 1 vote difference. So amazing. Congrats, everyone. So in terms of prizes, I don't know if Osama, do we have a slide?
Yes, we have a slide.
Can you share it?
Sure.
Okay,
Just
awesome.
give me
So we are giving away some free hours, and if you are on a subscription plan, you'll get those added onto the subscription plan. So yeah, 3 hours. First place gets, I think, 5 hours of engineering
Yes.
time subscription plus engineering time. And I think 50 or sorry, $100 in API credits. Second place and third place is 2 hours, a 2 hour package. So you guys can continue building, and then hopefully you will also subscribe after that as well. So yeah, these are the prizes. These will be added to your, even if you've not, like, if you've already subscribed, we'll add them on top of your existing subscriptions. But amazing job. This is like one of the most incredible cohorts that we've had so far. Shout out to everyone that was a part of this. Garrett, Cassie, Sama, all the engineers, the mentors, Danny, Ida, Katrina, everyone, Shan. Thank you for being super incredible. Garrett, do you want to add something?
I mean, he's right. This being part of everyone, this was, I feel like, the smoothest. Everyone was really engaged, really thoughtful ideas that were really personal to you and relevant. And I think that shows in what you accomplished in 3 weeks. Incredible presentations, incredible products. I can't wait to check them out more. I have a bunch open in my tabs right now, and as you know, I have a tabs problem, so it just continues to grow with all of your great work. So excited to hopefully I'll keep building with us, and hopefully we get to see that growth together. So congratulations on graduating and on the winners, but everyone's a winner. So
Awesome job, everyone. So everyone will stay a part of our Slack. You are part of our community. You have access to all your pods. You have access to the mentors. And then if anyone has any questions, suggestions, feedback, please DM me, but also please fill out the form, the feedback form. That's like super critical for us. If there was no feedback form, we'd still be doing boot camps the same way we were doing 4 months ago. So it really helps us continue to improve. And yeah, please do subscribe to our packages and continue building. We don't compare ourselves with the lovables of the world. We compare ourselves to what would it, like, you'd probably have to hire someone full time versus subscribe. So because we want to provide that much value. So please do subscribe, and then yeah, excited. Lots of interesting news is going to be coming your way as we continue to build and fundraise, and there's so much going on. But congrats to all the winners. Any last comments, questions? Would love to hear any thoughts. Anyone wants to say anything? We have 3 more minutes.
Thanks for the whole session. It was really fun, and it was very fun being part of the demos today. So thanks a lot, Kasim and team.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
wanna
Eric.
thank the
Ditto.
engineers.
It's been really great. And thank you to all the mentors also who've ushered us through the process, probably far more smoothly than you were ushered yourselves. So thank you for that.
that hurts
Amazing.
because I was their mentor before they were mentors. So thanks for that one.
Yeah, I wanted to thank the engineers and Usama and Ali and um like it's just, yeah, all of them who all helped me with various aspects. And it was like having 5 6 different coaches for different aspects of the process. So helpful.
Thanks, Susan. Means a lot. And yeah, special shout out to Osama for like literally running everything behind the show. Mudassir, who's been doing the operations, incredible help. It's like so much goes into putting all of this together, and couldn't thank everyone enough. If anyone has any technical questions or subscription related questions or anything, please reach out to Osama. He can help you with anything you need. Amazing. So yeah, that is the end of the boot camp, but not the end of our journeys. Please share your projects as you launch them in the channels. And we're excited to see what you build and happy to support you like with whatever you need. Awesome. Garrett, any last words? And then I think we're done.
I just typed my fortune cookie comment in the chat. That's my last my last comment, I suppose.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you so
You.
much.